Hey everyone, how we doing? Welcome to the weekly roundup for Gamer Synergy Pro League with Venny, Titch, and myself, Sean.
Good evening.
Are we ready for this? There is only one purpose. We're here for one reason only, and that is to have a look at the score between Pussy Patrol and KIA. There is no other reason. That is the whole reason we're here. It's why Dread's here, it's why Flash is here, and I'm 100% sure it's why Killer A-Team's here.
Before we get proceedings underway, I will show Dread and Flash the mug if I can get this right. So Dread, that says it could have gone either way. Then my PSN name and then the team logo. Look at that.
Good games. It could have gone either way.
It could have gone either way. Yeah.
Either way, yeah.
What was the other one I said?
You know, it's actually really funny you say that because when we get to something later on, I was actually going to bring that up. It's so funny.
I don't even realise I fucking say it half the time.
Okay. Actually, while we let's start off with your match last week, Vinny. I think that's probably the best way. Your fire sale match.
I didn't play.
You didn't play. Yeah, that's a good one. So anybody that was watching Venny's stream the other day, we had the belief that he was shot through a wall on Black Site.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the. I thought you were taking the piss about the result against Pussy Patrol.
No.
Okay.
We'll do that one in a minute.
Yeah.
So when he was playing against
Accent PL.
Now we had a look back through. Obviously, we investigated as soon as we thought that it was a shot through the wall, and then there was also an incident on Fob.
Yeah.
As well. So we did look at both of those, and we looked at Veni's stream and their stream, and there was about a 2 meter desync between the two players. So when Veni looked like he was behind a wall, he was actually stood out well in the open by 2 meters. So we are having a replay for a few rounds for them on that side because it's just complete random.
We're gonna put the screenshots of what I saw. Well, what my teammates saw of me and what Accent saw of me to just show what we mean. But it's important we clear that up because at the time it looked very clear that it was a shot through a wall. Not saying in the game we weren't certain it was intentional or whatever, but it looked like a shot through a wall. Whereas it absolutely nothing against Accent. It just was a weird glitch in the game.
I might have been able to get those up into here.
Yeah, see if you can get them up because it was interesting. Titch, you've got some random emojis floating by next to your head.
Yeah. Just me and my buds here, just chilling out.
Fair play.
They're just an easy reach whenever I want to just go and boop, just drop one in the chat.
I have absolutely no idea where they're from, but yeah.
They are from the Skype.
Yeah, from one of them.
Right. So, are you going to get them pictures up, Sean, or do you think we should just crack on? Because
crack on. You go through. Yeah. You guys can go through the tactical stats for this week, and I'll get them.
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, Elite is now finished, and we will be sorting the playoffs for the Elite Division. We'll be sorting that this weekend. So, only tactical downwards.
There you go. Your emojis are gone now, mate. No laughing faces.
Oh.
Okay.
Sad.
So let's have a look through.
So tactical division, not much change. So obviously there's the update to Game of Synergy now that shows you where teams have gone up or down, and there's only 2 teams that have even got an arrow there. So Penetrators have gone up, Hellcats Bravo have gone down, KIA still at the bottom where we belong. Accent still Stormwood at the top. Everyone's played 8 as well, so that is equal. Like there's no one with a game in hand there. There's nothing missing from it, but not much to report on it. To be fair, I'll bring up some of the results from the last game. So, for round 9 it was.
Oh, you're prepared.
So for round 9 it was last week. We had Accent beating Penetrator 6-2, Hussars beating British Merc 6-2, PS Team Poland beating Fire Ghost 5-3. I was on the break week, so I didn't go anywhere. Hellcats Bravo beating Bulletless 5-3. So no huge scores, and like I say, not a lot of movement on the table. We've got obviously this week that's currently happening. We've got. I'm doing the wrong week. week.
I was just looking at it. I was like, you're reading round 9. Aren't we on 10?
The wrong week. So Accent beat Hussars 6-2, which is a good result for them because they're at the top. Fire Ghost British Mercs 4-4. That's an important game because they're right next to each other. PS Team Poland 5-3 against Fire Rats. Penetrators beat KIA, my team 5-3. But like I say, there's not a lot of movement, so there's not much to report. We've got one more week left of this before it settles down. I don't see anybody catching Accent. I just don't see how that's going to be mathematically possible, is it? So, they have got a game this week, haven't they? Yeah, so they're playing Fire Ghost. The only way that you could really get much change here is if there's a couple of break weeks near the top, but I don't see this changing at all for next week. Sean has got the image.
I have. I was going to try and find your perspective as well, but we can probably explain through on this side. So let me just go back and we'll flip over and have a look. So this is the image from Accent's side. So as you can see quite there, you can see absolutely everything of Veni's character.
Yeah, it looks like I'm on an eagle eye. on the wall.
Yeah, it looks like you're this side of the wall, just crouched there having a crap. Yeah, but with the red chevron, seeing the whole character, they did absolutely nothing wrong by shooting. From their perspective, but from your perspective, you were the other side of that wall.
Completely. And the thing is that wall, there's not really any way you can get right flush against the wall. There's like a bike there. There's a little barrel, I think. You can't even get flush against the wall where you'll stick through. But Daffy's seen it happen a few times. It says, I've never seen that level of desync before.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
And I think that's the thing is I don't think I've ever seen it that far out.
Yeah,
like I've seen people hiding behind a door that like have been like down, and they're like, I was behind a door. How did I get shot? And like I've had it happen where people are like, how did you shoot me? I'm like, well, you came out the door, dude. Like, what do you mean? How did I shoot you?
This is why it's really important when we say that in a dispute, everybody should record footage, but especially the person who is involved in the incident on the receiving side, and then the person who's accused. So because it was me that shot through the wall, and my whole team recorded anyway, but because it was me that shot through the wall, obviously I was streaming anyway.
Yep.
And then we got the player that shot me to send their clip in as well. Otherwise, if they didn't have sent their clip in, it looks plain as day like I was shot through a wall. And here's another.
For this particular one, I've only got quickly to hand your perspective of it, Vinny. But just to go through from their perspective, Vinny was actually out on the right-hand side of that air conditioning unit, or that generator unit. So from his point of view, you were fully behind cover. From their point of view, you were a couple of meters back, and they just shot you like you were stood out in the open.
But it's weird because the game didn't lag or anything. Like the connection was perfect. So it just means that the entire game, from Claclear, is that how you say the name? Mm-hmm. From his perspective, I was 2 meters away from where I was standing. So it could have went the other way. Like I could have came out the corner.
Could have gone either way. Could have gone either way.
That's 6 feet for anybody in the freedom units.
Freedom unit. I didn't even intentionally say it could have gone the other way. That was. I might just not speak. But yeah, what I'm saying is like, so if I popped out of cover or something on his screen, I could have then popped into cover, so it could have affected either side. It's a really strange thing, and I think it mustn't be that prevalent because I'm sure we would have had this before. Everyone's had it where they think they were slightly behind cover and they get shot, whereas this was like full on. I'm getting shot on containment, but I'm playing on embassy.
Yeah,
that was the level of desync going on here, and I think people would have reported this before if it was commonplace. What to watch out for?
Yeah, definitely, and I think you're just going to reschedule in those 2 games that I'm pretty sure you're going to get beat anyway. But you're going to reschedule those 2 games in just for pride.
I mean, you should have just taken the L anyway. I mean,
well, this is the thing as well, right? So we're not competing for the title, and we've had this kind of conversation before. Now, it's not fair to other teams. I would have no problem with saying, "Oh, that's desync." The points don't mean much to us because we're not going to compete for anything. But it's not fair if Accent got given those points when could we play it and we would win, when you've got someone else who might be competing for the same spot in the league who then loses by a point. That's what I don't like about the whole.
Yeah, you got to keep it fair where possible. And so, for 8 seasons, we've never had that happen.
No, I said at the time, the only time I've seen this. And it wasn't quite as bad as that. It was on office upstairs by the lifts. Mm-hmm. I was playing with Maka, and Maka was inside the lift. And I went, "How the hell did you get in there?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm standing next to you." But to the 3 of us, we could see him. We couldn't see him. We could see his name behind the door.
That's crazy.
Meatpack, Hank. I think they might have just been playing randoms that day, but I remember in a stream. They were playing Embassy, and they were on top of the, the upstairs balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of his teammates took a screenshot, and he was floating. Honest to God,
like in the air,
over top of the cafeteria area.
That's mental.
Like he was way off of the balcony. Like it was insane, and just stuff like that. Like it's just the most random thing. He's just floating in the air.
It's online gaming, isn't it? It's gonna happen to some degree, but it doesn't normally really change the outcome. To be fair,
Yeah.
It normally just, you get a couple of extra shots on you so you get less health than you would normally have had or something. But never mind. And I think it's worth pointing out that I brought it up in the lobby straight away. Scott went, "Yeah, no bother." Clacklier went, "Yeah, no worries. I'll record it, submit the footage."
And neither us or the teams could believe quite that we'd seen it.
Yeah, but it was just quite smooth how it was handled. It's just unfortunate that.
I mean, like, if I'm playing against you and I see you on the wrong side of the wall, like, I would probably think to myself, now I know it's Venny, but I still think that he's probably not supposed to be there. So they were probably like, yeah, clearly something was up. Like
but
you add the Venny factor in, but it's still, the balance still isn't there.
But they were good game. I mean, we did get walloped that game. Well, we did in terms of points, but in terms of actual gameplay, we had some rounds that could have gone either way.
That was regular league, wasn't it? That wasn't Firesale, or was it Firesale?
It was Firesale, yeah.
Okay. So,
when there's grenades involved, I haven't got a fucking chance.
So let me just
the many factor. Is that going to catch on as well now? Is it?
No. I'm just thinking. So if you do end up losing this one, let's say if you do end up losing this one, that will be 3-0 scores in a row for Firesale.
I'm not scared.
First place on the first week, and it's gone to shit.
We talked about this actually after the game because we said
you picked too early.
We peaked too early. Yeah, we went in like all hammer and tongue, and then I didn't have the stamina for it. But I said there's some games where you two kids don't even hear that line anymore now. Some games where you come out and you go, "That was dreadful," and I'm fucking annoyed with how that went.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of them. Like the Pussy Patrol one, they were really good, but we were annoyed that we didn't really click at all that game. That might have been the game where we had a little bit of a lovers' tiff in the match. I think it might have been. I can't remember. But the one against Accent, we finished the game and went, we had a good game. Like we lost to a jammer, annoyingly. I need to explain that story as well because that was ridiculous. So we were trying to find this jammer, couldn't find it. Well, so you found it, but couldn't hit. You had to go around the other side of a wall. So I left the laptop to help clear the jammer. We got it. I ran back to the laptop, not realizing I'd left my kitchen where I played the game. I was in the living room, and I was stuck in the doorway. So when I turned round to get to I've been playing the quest recently, so I turned around in real life rather than in game. Hit my gun off the doorway, got stuck, fell over as I tried to get back in the kitchen. All this took about 10 seconds. And by the time I got the laptop, it was too late.
How many weeks has Rennie gone without a win?
I don't know if I've won any.
Oh my god! That's just the way he puts that. Dude.
We're gonna go with wins. So in Firesale round 3, technically he didn't win anything, but he did get an ace point because you won the 4th defense. So you didn't get the win, but you ended up with the ace. So that's a loss.
That's probably the only team in the history of Firesale that's ever managed to do that.
So that's 4 losses in Firesale out of 4 0 points out of Firesale in 8 weeks.
Well, no, so you've just said yourself it was 1 point.
You got fuck all, mate. That was luck.
Just calm yourself down.
How many of those could have?
And he said win. That wasn't a win point. Sorry.
Look at that. Yeah, Karen's my cheerleader. I'll take that. Yeah.
Let's just have a look at tactical because that would be an interesting one to go through. Tactical.
I've got tactical up right now. So they won. Last time they won was week 8.
8-0. 8-0 lost to Accent PL as well. They really don't like you, do they?
So we've only won one match, and that was against Hellcats Bravo.
Yeah.
And then the rest have been the rest of we've either lost or we drew.
I mean, realistically, so to answer your question, how many weeks has gone? Technically, it's only been 2 weeks. Yeah. We're on week 11. So it was week 8. So or 2 to 3 weeks. Total though, like how many weeks has he done total? Like before that, like
Let's just say I'm a few wins away from posting on Facebook to have a 1v1. I don't think I've that caliber yet where I can do that. So, yeah,
But only for the likes of Zamek, and who else gets mentioned all the time for 1v1s.
Everyone wants to 1v1 Zamek, Gifton, and then everyone wants to play Area 51. So that's the 3 challenges all the time.
Yeah, there's.
It does feel longer, Dredge. You're right.
Yeah. Right, I guess we should.
I just want to mention one thing. So, anybody that's obviously played just to get out of the public, anyone that's played the game recently, you'll know that the operations have disappeared in the last update. I jumped on today. I got some practicing because I've got some knobhead to play tomorrow, so I was just getting a bit of practice in there, ready for that. But I was playing with Pin. Now we don't play that often, so we still get quite a few tasks still to do. The operations have disappeared, but he's still completing tasks.
Really?
That's strange. That doesn't seem intentional. Someone asked on the Dread, I'm going to try and do the dual stream tomorrow. I think it's 8:30, isn't it, Sean?
Yeah, it is. So after we finish this, we've got to get you up to speed.
Yeah. Got to get my setup back on track since I decided to log out and lose everything.
Flash. I've not practiced for a game all season. This is the only one we've done it for.
I think you have to move your mic up a touch there, Vinny. Or Sean.
How about
just looking at
Hi.
Go closer. I'm just watching the habit.
What I was going to say about the operations, though, we will get back to talk about results. The whole point of this, we do this every fucking time we do one of these streams, but never mind. About the operations, someone mentioned the official FC Discords. They asked, it didn't get an answer, of course, but they asked if now that the operations, if they're all finished, then can we unlock all of the previous stuff? Can you use crypto to buy all of the previous stuff that you didn't unlock in the previous operations? I think that's fair. Maybe not the.
But we don't know. We haven't had an answer that it is finished.
Yeah, I think people assume it is, but I don't know.
It's very unusual. I've not seen them ever take. I've seen them leave the operations up for longer, but to actually take them away seems a bit, a little bit different. And if I'm right, they've gone back to the original blue.
No, everyone keeps saying this. It's not the original blue.
Is it not?
That is a much darker blue. Everyone keeps saying this. That is a darker blue.
But it's
around. I'm not going mental. Promise, I'm not going mental.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolf, you've not missed a great deal of it, to be honest.
Hey, Wolf.
Although I would suggest watching it back afterwards when it goes up as like a VOD, because there was a bit of desync in a game I played that is quite interesting to see.
Is he actually starting over?
Oh, I thought he was asking us to start over. Yeah.
No, I thought you were starting over because you started going back through all the stuff. I was like, is he actually starting over?
I said if he goes back and watches it, other than that, there's not really anything worth seeing. Let's load up strategic and get on with some results, and then we've got a bit more to talk about after, haven't we?
Yes, so I prepared earlier.
And not
a single
team moving.
No, it was. I think there was actually 2 divisions that haven't moved at all, if I'm right. But yeah, nobody's gone up, nobody's gone down. Everyone's exactly the same as where they were. Although it does look like those points haven't updated from last week.
Oh, sure.
Because we're on week 9.
I'll go through some results that have taken place.
That is still the wrong week, isn't it? Let me consult my computer while you're doing that.
No, it's because they've got break weeks, so it is right. It's up to speed.
Okay.
I've got a couple of extra results on the one I'm looking at on my screen because it's not the one where it ends at the round. It's got this week's results on as well. But in terms of the results from last week, so we've got 12 gauge beat French Smokers 5-3, big win for them. First versus second place. French Smokers still have that game in hand, which 12 gauge on the break week this week. French Smokers play 50 Shades of Pink, so it's a chance for French Smokers to get some points back. Headhunters.
Good score there.
He's 50 Shades of Pink 7-1. Yeah,
that was a good score. Yeah.
Endgame in 18 4-4. Good draw. Destination Fuck in Punishes 5-3 to Destination Fuck. Desperate PT on the break week. Chronic Mastigators break week. So the big result there was the Headhunters and 50 Shades of Pink, the 7-1, but not a big skull, but an important result was the 12 gauge in French Smoker's one. It's just strange not to see any movement whatsoever.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. One more. Actually, they've got more than 1 week left, so I can say that wrong. 1, 2, 3. They've still got 3 weeks left.
Yeah, they've got,
including this week. Yeah. So they've still got a few left, purely based on the numbers that they had in their league at the start of it all.
And no roster changes because they're locked at this point anyway.
Yeah, no roster changes for them. There was only one team that's showing a little bit different on the rosters, but we'll get to that when we get to that division. So let's bring us back on screen a minute. Let's have a look at Titch. Hi, Titch.
What's going on?
Oh, good, man.
I finally can subscribe to the strategic division.
I know. I did that change just for you.
I know you did. It's so nice. I just did it.
Go on.
Right now.
While you're looking, when you're on there, click on the fixture list. I've modified it.
The view fixture list.
Have a look at the view fixture list now.
I don't think you want to know what I'm looking at right now.
Probably not.
It's a blank screen.
Oh man.
I clicked on view fixture list and it's literally just a gray.
Don't do that.
It's not for me. Titch is broken. It's user error.
Let me refresh. Hold on. Here. Here. Let me do a quick share screen here. You can share screen back, but that's
It's going to come up on
get.
Stream. But...
that's fine. But that's what I get.
Okay. That's your
So
computer.
just so you're aware. All right. You can.
Yeah, let's carry on. Let's carry on talking about the leagues, and then we'll come back to the updates because there's a few
It looks better
updates
with the grey blocks, to be fair.
It looks. I mean, it's a really nice shade of gray.
Cheers.
It feels like I'm looking into my soul a little bit.
50 Shades of Titch.
Yeah, 50 Shades. You can share your screen.
It's going to bug me now. I'm going to load that up on my computer next to me because it's going to bug me. Oh, man.
Right. So let's we'll move on to another division. We'll cover all them, and then we'll come back to the updates. If you want to put your screen back on, Sean, so we can.
My screen is on. You're just. Oh gosh.
No, because when I did it broke.
Yeah, Titch broke it. Just Titch.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
1 week will have this when it's moved without any drama.
I wanted you to see what I saw because I know if I was just like explaining it, like I don't know, maybe it helps for technical support if you can see what I see. You know?
Karen, you are like the most generous person in the world.
Karen is definitely the top supporter within the Firewall community, isn't she?
Definitely.
Hands down. I don't think anybody comes close.
No, every channel is worth watching. Karen's watching.
I can think of one person that would give her a run for it, but she still comes out on top, and that would be Killer Cam or Jester.
Yeah. He hammers yours with the bits, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jester's a solid dude and a big supporter for us, but Karen definitely gives it overall for the community though. Karen takes the cake, which
is good. I've said this before. Like a lot of the time, people wonder why there's no new players coming through, or there's not like the retention of new players. They play for a little bit and then they bugger off. And the game's only as good as its community, really. And if we don't encourage the community, then how can we expect the game to continue or to grow? And I see a lot of kind of puffing chest out on social media. I don't think anyone would say it's unfair to say that. And I don't think it does the game any good. But people like Karen supporting all the streams, encouraging people, trying to just share the game. That's what we need.
Yeah, do you know how many people I follow now that I don't I don't really watch, and not because I don't like the streamers or whatever. It's just I'm usually busy doing other things, so I have to generally pick and choose who I watch half the time. But yeah, daily, dude, almost daily, I'm getting a message from Karen. Can you drop a follow this person? I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And they're like, she's just like, really nice guy. You should check him out. I'm like, here's a follow.
But it just supports. I mean, if you look at something I like a bit of Counter-Strike, and that game is really old. And there's a lot of dickheads on there, as flat screen gaming always gets. But it's it's a thriving community, but the game survives. And with VR, you've got to try and encourage that a bit more, because if you just let the community die, the game dies, and that's it. That's the end of it. There's not enough people to begin with, really. So yeah, we need to be encouraging it, and I think everyone needs to kind of play a part in that. I'll get down off my soapbox now. That's my campaign run done.
And you're going to go through the fire sale stuff, yeah?
We're going to go for Fire Sale.
Benny for president.
Benny for president, yeah. So Fire Sale, a little bit of movement here. So we've got Destination Fucked Up and Assassinos. I can never say their name. Both moved up. I gave Destination Fucked Up some lovely points recently. That has probably helped them on their way. And Assassinos, I think I gave them a load of points. So yeah. New School of Hellcat Straight has gone down. Everywhere else, very much the same. Myself and 50 Shades hanging out at the bottom. Area 51, Black Mamba, right up there. Accent have got a game in hand, but I know we say it every week. The points difference there isn't much, but Fire Sale, it's quite hard to get a high number of points. Not everyone breaks into the double digits. So that is a bit of a mountain to climb, although I know who they played this week. So I know what happens next.
Yep.
But yeah, it's still looking like a good finish for that one. Area 51, Black Mamba, and Accent. I'm going to load up the scores as well.
Titch, you can refresh that page. It's fixed.
Oh god. Titch loves finding problems for you, doesn't he?
To be fair, if it wasn't for people using the site and finding problems, then we'd never get it to where it is now.
He's like your QA tester.
Flash found a fault for me the other day. Fixed that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's what it's all about.
So, going for the results we've just had, it's a bit more bloody awkward to read the way the results have gone down on Fire Sale, as everybody knows, because they're not like straightforward wins and aces. So I'm just going to give it in points using Sean's new little update to the system. So Destination Fucked Up, 9.5 points. There's 18, we've got 2.5. Area 51 taking a 12-point win over 50 Shades of Pink. That's a big result for them. Pussy Patrol, 10.5 points to none against my team.
Sorry, say that again.
10.5 points to none. Yeah, but I said this
against
you. Could have gone either way.
Against you? You got a little quiet when you said that. Sorry. You're like 10.5 points against my.
Yeah, it could not have gone either way.
No.
I said this, and I think I even said this in Discord afterwards to them. Is that we've played them, and we joke that this was like the decider, because I think we played twice and we won one, they won one, but they were both really close. Like it was like 1 point in it, and then this one fucking stomped us. But I said like you can't take anything away from the way they've grown as a team. So like when we were watching them on cameras, that was dead a lot of the time. Just the way they were moving as a team and everything was really good. And it's not that they weren't a good team beforehand, but they've just really kind of elevated it. So it'd be good to see how they do for the next few games.
And they all play in their own individual teams.
Yeah, so they've kind of came together for this, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes, Dread, that is what happened. That's correct. They stopped being lenient, and they just swarmed us. Yeah. But fair play to them. Like we had a bad game, but they were just absolute animals.
Right, carry on going through before you get.
You stop your Assassinos, 8 points to 3 against Hellcat Tracers. New School on a break week. Accent PL. What the fuck happened here? Accent PL, 1.5 points. Black Mamba, 10 points.
Don't believe you.
That's a hell of a result.
That's cracking. I don't believe you. I've not seen that.
I didn't see that until I've just read it there. That's a shocker, that one. I mean, they are sitting above Accent with a game in hand, but that's a
good result.
Big result. Good result for Black Mamba.
But that's just it. You take away that 10 points, like it's not as separated.
It's not.
Like, that was a huge win for them.
10 points is phenomenal.
Yeah. 10 points is huge.
Mm.
Not quite 10.5 though, is it? Like what I gave away, but So games that are happening this week. we've had a couple of results come in. So obviously I played Accent PL. Pussy Patrol versus 18. 18 struggling a little bit down the bottom as well, like myself. So that'd be an interesting one to see how that goes.
There's still a
Area, yeah, I know. Area 51 playing Black Mamba. Now that will be results that we want to see.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch, isn't it?
It'd be interesting if there's a stream of that to
Nice.
catch it live. Yeah. U School Destination Fucked Up. Assassinos 50 Shades of Pink. Hellcat Traitors on a break week. So there's potential for movement next week.
Yeah. And to be fair, the midfield. Going there from Assassinos on 35 points down to Pussy Patrol on 30. 4 places separated by 5 points.
Yeah.
That's going to be close. There's going to be some movement midfield, which is going to be brilliant to see.
I don't see anyone getting near the top 3, to be honest.
Destination Fucked Up are still within reach.
But I
don't know. They really are. Now, bearing in mind, they've still got I'm pretty sure an average points to go on. On their side, they've got. I'm sure they have between them and Assassinos. So their game's down, aren't they? So they're not out of reach.
They're not out of reach, but I don't. Just with the 3 teams that are above them, I don't see it happening personally.
I think they're going to be.
It's no disrespect to them because they follow me as well.
What's the what's the win difference there from them to Assassinos, and who've Destination Fucked got left?
So Destination Fucked Up have got for their future games. They've got New School, Hellcat Traitors, 50 Shades of Pink, and then Black Mamba.
So they've still got some good point earners to come.
They have, yeah, and then they've got Black Mamba.
So I don't mean that nastily at all. There,
but no, but you see trends. It's fair to say, like, you see trends of what's happening. So that's fair to say that, and then people can pull off an upset. Like it's no, I don't think Dread would say it's unfair to say that he's had a cracking season that nobody expected.
Mm.
It's just how previous results have gone, and then they played really well. No, nothing wrong with saying that. Yeah, that wraps up Fire Still. So then we've got the NA.
I'm going to come back to us.
NA.
Hi, everyone.
So I feel that this is a good time to apologize to Sitmark, Mecca, and I'm escaping your force, Benny.
What are you trying to say? It's Akilna.
Akilna, thank you. Apologize to those 3 because I feel like they take a lot of flack for the amount of shit that we give you, and friendly fire and all, but
they never
nothing
get
against those guys.
They never get mentioned. So
the team as a collective.
Exactly. When we talk about the team as a whole, right? I mean, they still kind of get lumped in that. So I want to apologize to them.
Sorry, Akilna knows everything.
We like down with the captain. We like those guys. Don't get me wrong. It's just Benny.
Someone's got to. Eh?
Someone's got to take the shit.
No, someone's got to like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, I don't know anybody that's killed themselves with explosives any more than Sit. So yeah.
That happened with. So I know I missed last week's, but there was some. So maybe when we get to the NA, we'll talk a little bit about the last 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know what you guys covered. I don't remember what you covered for the NA division. But yeah, Skrock actually plays for Killer Bees. They played against Sour Gummy Worms. On containment, Skrock ran up, placed a C4, and then blew himself up. It was actually really funny.
It's pretty when it happens, but
it's pretty much what happens on Benny's team.
And at first, we were waiting for like everybody else to kind of blow themselves up, thinking it was gonna be a game reset, and it just didn't happen. And we were like, okay, so yeah, it was really funny.
It's good.
What were you just doing there, Sean?
I was just doing some adjustments.
On your camera?
Trying to make yourself not look like so much of a ghost.
Were you just putting like a Snapchat filter on your camera there?
No, I was just getting rid of. I was a little bit grained in the background, so I was just getting rid of that.
I think you added a little bit of contrast in there. You're looking about as white as.
I've got a really bright white fucking LED light above me, and I tell you what, I've got to the side and at the front, and I can hardly fucking see.
You look like Demolition Casper.
I can live with that. I can live with that. Doesn't know when I should wear a fucking dark hoodie, shouldn't I? Bit of a contrast, at least.
Put a little color into it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Wankers. Titch, time to shine, baby. Time to shine.
Time to shine. Oh, yeah, are we on the NA already? Jesus. Yeah, I guess your guys' elite division's all over. So let me take a quick look here. This is going till the end of round 9, correct? Yes. Are you actually
round
picking
10? End of round 10.
End of round 10. There we are. Okay. Pull these up. All right, round 10. Here we are. I was not prepared. So yeah, this week we covered a bunch of games this week. What did we, or last week I should say? What do we have? Well, we had Looney Tunes playing Killer Bees. So this week was very interesting. We had a lot of the top teams kind of playing each other. So it's really coming down to the wire on our end. I mean, you look at the top 4 or 5 teams there, like the difference is very minimal across the board between them. I mean, between 1st and 5th, you got, a half decent split, but not overly crazy. But when you look at it as for playoffs, super close. The top 5 right now are very, very tight.
Oh, they will be.
So
Rain had a absolutely phenomenal match this week.
Yeah, so
gained some serious points.
Yeah, so Looney Tunes, you see top Looney Tunes, they played Killer Bees, who have dropped down, as you can see, 5-3. A win for Looney Tunes. So Killer Bees are, I'm sure, hoping to get a couple more extra points off of that one. Rain versus Gentleman's Assassins Guild, 7-1, 6 aces, like heavy.
Phenomenal.
Click Clack versus Meat Pack. So I mean, Meat Pack dropped down a little bit. They're in fights with Killer Bees. I think they have their own little fun little bet to who's going to try to stay on top of who. But yeah, 4-4 versus Click Clack. So very well done versus for Click Clack against a team like Meat Pack. Then we had Chronic Mastigators played us last week. 6-1. Or sorry, 6-2, 1 ace for CMG. That moved them up a couple of spots, or at least one spot. But in the words of Veni Vidiviki, man, they seriously could have gone either way. If you watch those match back, or if anybody would happen to watch those games, it came down to like one person half the time. It was super close. We had a lot of good games, a lot of fun times with those guys. Other than that, NWG played Sour Gummy Worms. NWG with an upset, taking it 6-2 with 5 aces against the Gummy Worms. So they had a bit of a rough week last week. Other than that, round 9, like I said, I wasn't here last week. I don't really know what Sean covered. I don't. Really
I went through and obviously explained the usual.
I don't think there was anything over the top that week.
It was only the 7-1 win by Click Clack over NWG. That was the only major one there. And
what it was actually
Looney
was
Tunes
Meat Pack. It was Meat Pack versus CMG, which was the big one.
4-4. Yeah.
4-4, actually, yeah. So Meat Pack CMG the week prior, 4-4, 1 ace. And actually, CMG ended up getting 2 aces, so they walked away with that extra win. So that was kind of the big upset.
Have they changed any players recently? Because when you go through Meatpack's points, 6-2, 7-1, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, 7-1, 7-1, and then you've got 4-4, 4-4.
No, the actually one of those games they did have a player that hasn't played a lot recently. For them, so that might have been a little bit of a change up, but all in all, their squad has been pretty like the main 3. Frank didn't play. Yeah, they had OG Way in for Frank.
Just going through there, Brown. We would absolutely love to do a Champion of Champions tournament, but we can't get people to stop bitching about lag. That's the sum of it. Yeah, if we were in a lag-free game with dedicated servers,
if people would do it and accept that there's going to be a bit of lag, and do like a split host, then we can do it. We've tried to do stuff like that before, and although people say they want it, as soon as the lag affects them, then it becomes a problem, and that's
the genuine gist of it, isn't it? As soon as they get a sniff of being able to win, and then it's taken away by lag or something like that.
But I think the whole, like I said earlier on about the way sometimes the community goes on in the larger side, I think that's part of the problem. If everyone did the league, then they have like a Champions of Champions thing, and everybody accepted that result could be influenced by lag, it would be fine. But you know for a fact, someone will get beat. It'll be because of lag, and then they'll be ridiculed on all the Facebook groups and all that shit, and it's just not worth it. So people don't put themselves on the line there because they don't want to get the shit. Whereas if everyone just went, oh yeah, you got beat, but you know it was a bit of lag, could have gone either way, then people might be willing to do it.
Drugfests do occasionally have lag,
but the thing usually people's brains are lagging, so they're slower than the game.
It's not so much that. I think it's more that I'm one of the few NA players that are actually involved in Drugfest until later on. At that point, we're too drunk to care. But I do have the occasional skip. But I've also had that with people on the NA side, so I don't care. I realize that it's a part of the game, and I just don't complain about it. I skip occasionally, and I go, oh,
here we go.
I just kind of skip, and I go, oh crap, and then that's kind of the end of it. I just kind of leave it like that. So it is a thing that happens, but unfortunately.
But you raise a point there, like so obviously the North America side is a lot bigger than the UK, you know, where a tiny little island from one end to the other is nothing compared to America. But I've played with people in the UK who don't lag, and I've played with people in the UK who do lag. I've played with people in the arse end of Europe who don't lag, and I've played with them who do lag.
I used to have terrorist on my team from Australia, and we never had an issue.
But isn't he from New Zealand though?
He's both. He flicks between, but yeah, it never had.
Does he live in New Zealand?
Never had an issue.
Yeah, and like I said,
I think he's NZ now. Yeah,
we've done league games where, like, we'll load into a match, and like we'll be like running, and all of a sudden somebody will be like, "Titch, are you lagging?" As I'm like skipping forward, I'm like, "Yep." You're like, "You want to do anything about it?" I'm like, "Nope." Like I just.
Pedro, how you doing? Shana, how?
I generally let other teams host because I don't really give a shit about lag. If it's that bad, I'll request a change. But if it's just a little bit, it's just online gaming. Like there's nothing really on the line.
And I guess you're right. I guess there's sort of a degree at which where it crosses over, where I'm like, I've had ones that again, it's almost like, was it me, or is it the host?
Yeah.
And that's another thing that matters too. Is it not? I've changed up hosts. If I change up a host and it doesn't fix it, then there's no point in me switching hosts again.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's obviously an issue on my end. Who knows? It could be raining. It could be.
But people often think they think that if there's lag in the game, it's unacceptable. So then the solution to that, changing host, stops them from having lag. But if that gives the other team lag, that's not a solution.
Yeah. Like
that's just moving the lag.
Like your whole thing that happened with like the desync of like being on the other side of a wall.
That's crazy.
We played a league game where I was behind a box, and all of a sudden, like out of the blue, it was on warehouse, and I'm against a pole in front of like one of the openings that I'm getting shot at. But like it's just one of those things, man. You just gotta. It is what it is. You do it.
For me, the line's crossed when, you know, if you're standing behind a corner and you go to throw grenades. You pop out, throw the grenade, pop back.
Yeah.
And then the grenade hits the wall in front of you. That's when it's crossed the line for me. If it's like a couple of second delay. But yeah, it's never going to change for Firewall because of the lack of service. And we have to just manage it as best we can. And I think if everyone enters the game with that mindset, that it could lag, but as long as everyone's experiencing the same or it's minimized as best as they can, it's fair enough. It is what it is. But it happens.
What's going on, Shanna?
Right, we have the SA side left to go.
On the SA side, I've just been getting a couple of messages about a skull that's been entered. That could be wrong, but I don't think it. Actually, it might affect what we're going to go through here.
Okay, we can have a look.
Yeah.
We can have a look at that while we're doing it. There's not an issue.
So again, not much movement. There's only been really the NA.
I wasn't
Brought
ready.
us back.
Wasn't ready. Let's go back. Let's go back. Bye.
So there's only really been the NA division that has had a lot of movements from week to week.
I'm blaming that on lag, by the way.
So we've still got TKG right at the top, Skull at the bottom. They're still not all played the same amount of games because of the number of teams in the league. So there's always going to be break weeks. Equals Brazil moving up, Zombie moving down. To go over some of the results, TKG beat Zombie 7-1, which probably explains why Zombies went down. We have Soul Hunters and Sangra Azteca is the result that is just being queried now. I need to look into that. Or we do, should I say. Sicario and Sicario won a break week. Skull were beaten 8-0 with 7 aces by Eagles Brazil. 8 wins with 7 aces. That's a cracking result for them. They still have, so we've got this week and then another 2 weeks on top. So there's still a couple of games left. Things can change up, but there's quite a point spread between first, second, and third, and then down to fourth. That's quite a spread. Right. Yeah, I'm not making sense of this, but I'm getting told about this match. So yeah, we'll have to talk about that after, Sean.
Yep, no worries.
There is roster change on this one, but we need to look into that one as well, don't we, Sean? That was the only one that had.
Yes, there's they've had a roster change where they've gone through and basically renamed the team or the players within the team to match. So we just need to go through. One of them is pretty obvious by checking on the PlayStation app that it is just a genuine name change, but I need to speak with the rest of them just to make sure. But there's nothing we can't really do until afterwards. There's no issue on that.
Yeah, we was never really one for the clan tags.
What
we discussed
putting the team name on your own PSN.
Yeah. We discussed it, but we figured having SS in our names was probably not a good idea.
What?
Having SS in our names is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I think you've chosen well there. Yeah, that makes sense, really. But yeah, I don't get it either, because if you change teams, now you've got to change it. And you can only do it once for free, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not paying for changing. Not that I've ever been in a different team, in all fairness. But, you never know what happens. So there's not much to talk about on the SA side as well, because there's a few caveats with the results and things.
Yep.
That one is still obviously in its infancy, so we're still ironing out a few issues there. Hopefully, get a few more teams in for next season. But yeah, that's all of the leagues.
Yeah, that'd be
done,
really nice too. It'd be good to get Anonymous back if Leo's around and he wants to play again. Obviously, that'd be quite nice to have there. Yeah, cracking. One week left of most. Vinny, we might as well say now who's playing who for the Elite Playoff. We know that. We know who's playing who.
Yes. So we're gonna officially get this kicked off this weekend. But
are you going to look at Game of Synergy for it?
If I press the right button on the website and not press the home button on the browser, then I will get to the correct page.
You probably won't because I've finished it.
I won't get to the correct page.
Would you like me to get it?
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
So,
I know we had Area 51 and Black Mamba, I know, up there, but I'm not sure.
Is this for the
EU? This is EU Elite.
EU Elite. We still have well, it should be 1v. We're doing top 4, right?
Top 4, so it's 1v4.
Yeah, so 1v4, 2v3.
Yeah, and then the winners of those games play to take the overall, which is a new thing for this season. I know it's very American, and I follow my American sports, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily like playoffs, but it just means that the absolute best team wins. So really,
first versus fourth, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be Area 51 versus Stat, and Black Mamba
against Black Hawk.
Yeah,
Black Hawk. That's the other team because they were flitting around up and down. It was Blackhawk stats. I think New School were up and about there. There was like third and fourth changed a few times, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because fourth and fifth, so Stat and New School are separated by 1 point apiece.
Yeah.
So that came down to like the final game.
So did sixth, seventh.
Yes, James says, Public Enemies 93. They were 3 points away from. Well,
they were 5
points
away from fourth place in seventh.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but Public Enemies is a name that seems to have gone under the radar this season.
It has, and kept right up there. Yeah. It's only the Aces really that they've got the same wins as Stat, obviously same losses because you will have. It's only the Aces that have kept them behind.
The playoff games are going to be a slightly different format where the Aces aren't going to count. So I'm going to get that up on my screen. I'll read through that shizness. So it's a similar thing where each team picks their maps that they want to play, but they pick 3 maps. Each team picks 3 maps that they want to play. The team that placed higher in the league, so first place 4th, and first place gets to decide if they attack or defend first, and they get to play their map first.
Yep.
And then it's the first to win 6. So the game will be a minimum of 6 rounds, with the normal games being 8, lasting about an hour. The playoff games will be a minimum of 6, if that's a 6-0 win. So it's going to take a bit less. It could be a maximum of 11 rounds, so you're probably talking about an hour and a half-ish.
Yeah.
So they have the potential to go on a bit longer. We didn't want to up it too much because sometimes making it an hour aside a week for a game isn't easy for everyone.
What was it last season for the NA division?
We tried something a bit strange with yours for last season.
And it was. I actually really enjoyed that.
Well, I thought I liked the idea of it, but I got a bit of flack for it when I first suggested it. But it was where you play a map for 1 round.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, whoever was defending picked the map, and that was it.
I love that.
We played it for that one. It was solid, dude. I actually really enjoyed
the reason that I even thought of that to begin with was because I don't like the idea of rehearsed maps. I know I have my own maps that I play, and then to sub that I just don't know where I'm going or what's going on. But when you do it that way, where you only play the map once, you don't have like a structured attack and defend for each map. It's like it could be anything, and then it's the team. We need to do that again soon, Karen. To be honest, it's just a lot of the games are.
It's stupid o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I tried staying awake for the one the other day, but yeah.
We'll try it. We need to come on while you've got Titch, Wolf, Rad, or Timber in his suit. We need to get us. Sorry if I'm missing anyone out. Raptor does it as well, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
You get us on.
Mainly producing.
I got a question. I jumped online earlier practicing. Those guys were on at 3:00 your time playing Firewall.
Who was?
All of your guys. Timber was on. Timber was playing. So 8:00 my time, 3:00 your time. He was playing. I was against him.
Or 3 in the morning?
No, night.
That would be 3 hours ago or 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It's just a bit early. Go to work.
I don't know. I was at work. I know that. I don't know what everybody else's schedules are like.
But I think.
Very rarely do you come across against him at that time of day.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But I think we need to get a game, Titch, where you guys are already hosting one, and then maybe we'll pop in for like the first half hour or something.
Yeah.
And then just see how it goes. So I think if we're committing to it, it's a lot more difficult for us to commit to it at that time. Yeah, we'll jump on for a bit.
Well, there's Wolf and let's see. There's one at 9:00 tonight that Wolf and Rad are doing.
So that's 2:00.
2:00 in the morning.
Then we have a game. Let's see. There's one tomorrow. That's actually my game. And then we have one Saturday at 9. This is Looney Tunes versus NWG. And then one at 10.
I need to try. I might try and persuade the wife to let me change my sleep pattern for a night.
That's a lie.
Yeah. It probably, for me, would need to be a weekend, but our work patterns are different, aren't they, Sean? Are you working still at the moment?
No.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah, do do it at a weekend now, when Sean's not at work at the weekend.
Yeah, so right now the only weekend game we got right now is Saturday at 9.
That's 2 a.m.
I'll let you know.
And that's Looney Tunes versus NWG.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we can do that then.
We could do that.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting one.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, considering they got more bloody players.
And,
we could
and I
get
think
admin and mods. Let's do that.
I'm willing to wager on that one.
I think if we do admin and mods, we'll do me, Recon, Flash, and Dread.
Oh, come on, you gotta take that.
Yeah,
you have to.
Anyway, so come back to the playoffs, yeah. So we've got a different format. I didn't want to change it too much, so we just made it so first to 6 wins, 3 maps each. Last season, like we said, we did what I thought was an interesting one, but I got fucking raped when I first suggested it. I think people enjoyed it in the end.
I enjoyed it.
Didn't we we've done a knockout with that format, and it went down really well.
Not quite like that, I don't think we have.
I meant with a new map every time, I thought. Sure we did.
I don't know, maybe. We've done that bloody many.
True.
But yeah, so we've got that happening on all divisions this season. There was a suggestion of adding additional teams in for the NA side. Now we're not quite there yet. There's a discussion about that because you can't have every team in the league participating.
Yeah, I mean, so gotta talk about that one real quick. So there was talks about, because I mean, brackets in a form of a bracket, 4 teams works out well, right? So team plays team, 2 people move on, you play finals, done. Teamwork, that bracket works out sweet. After that, you got to go to 8 people.
Yep.
But,
which is too many.
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? I mean, you look at at what point does the season become kind of invalid when you're okay, we got 12 people, so you're taking the top 8 out of 12, and then
chuck them into one last final playoff. Yeah,
you can cheat it. This is what I was talking with Venny earlier. You can cheat it with 6 people by giving the number one seed technically a bye, and then you'll have with a 7, and then you have 6 teams remaining that'll all play each other. That'll leave you with 3 teams, and then seed 1 would play the lower seed of that, and then you're back to 4. So you can cheat it with 7. You're still taking half.
7
still taking over half of your
So we're not 100% on that. So we originally set up for the top 4. That's how it's going to work for each division. If everybody wanted more teams in the NA side, because that's the only side that's requested this at the moment, then we have to talk about it. But
I think anything like that would be future season related. Really,
yeah, what I was going to say,
we're getting very close to the end there to make a justified decision on it.
If we can get 16, if we
get
16 next season, we'll do it.
Yeah, I was a finals team last season. I'm currently in 8th position right now, so if I wanted to, I'd be like, yeah, no, totally, let's go with 8 people, and then I would be in playoffs, and at least I could be like, yo, playoffs every season. But in logical sense, based on the number of teams, it doesn't.
It's non-justifiable.
7, you could do it, but it's sort of a stretch based on the numbers.
Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, for sure.
Not really feasible, but there's future seasons to be looking at stuff like that, and then also changing the format. You can't change the format of the standard league every season. You can subtly change the odd rule, but
especially with the way EU is run, where you have 10 teams, 9 right now, right? In the elite, you can't take top 8.
So what do you think to the new things then? So the auto posting from when you enter on the website to Discord. FY, that is going to be going through, that's going to be going to our Facebook as well. We're going to get it to auto post on the website and on our Facebook page.
Not gonna lie, it's pretty sweet.
If anyone hasn't seen that, I think everyone in the chat probably would have. There's a channel for confirmed results.
Correct.
I think it's called, isn't it? Yeah. So confirmed results. So when both teams post their result on Gaming Synergy, it automatically posts the the fixture and the results, tags the teams in, says what league they're from. Because what we want to try and do is we want to try and get away from duplication. So in the future, we want you talk in the matchmaking channel, you schedule your match, then you would go on Gaming Synergy and put the date and time that your match is going to take place, and then it would auto post. But we're not quite there yet. So we're starting off with the score coming in.
Yeah, and this is obviously more preparation. We're at the end of the season coming up, so this is more preparation for next season, getting it ready. The fixture list is updated on Gaming Synergy, so if you do pop on there, have a look at the fixture list. That's changed. It's a little bit more fluid in how it displays who you're playing. Once both teams have entered the score on there, it will also show the score that you've got through. I've been doing a fair bit of work on there over the last few days just to get it a bit better.
Speaking of, it may be a subscribe issue. To going back to that, because I can see the changes on the NA.
I have fixed it, Titch. So if you refresh.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I did that earlier. Just while we're in the stream, I've done it. Yeah.
Between applying your Snapchat filters that we also.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? What did you do here? Hold on, let me take a look.
What's going on with my lighting? I think we've got darker throughout the whole thing.
You have.
I need to tell you, but I still see a grey box.
Just F5 it. You'll need to refresh the JavaScript.
No, I literally just went like completely.
Yeah, it still caches. Just press F5 on your keyboard.
Still see a grey box, dude.
Never mind.
I'll sort it with you in a minute. Technology and Titch. Yeah. Go on. Are we gonna have a blender?
Yeah. Speaking of blender, you should see the roller coaster. Making a roller coaster.
That's sweet.
What more do we need to see? Is that a proposition there? What more do you need to see?
Titch, Venny, you've gone really dark now.
I know what's going on. Hang on, let me.
Crap. Turn the other light on. So yeah, doing a few changes there. It's going to auto post once both teams enter their score. It auto posts into a channel. In Discord, it will then auto post that onto Facebook as well. I've got it set up so that every Tuesday it posts the weekly fixtures into Discord as well. I am
weekly standings.
The weekly standings. Now I am working on a way of displaying it only for a certain round that we're on. So that is something in process rather than showing the whole lot. It'll just show based on the round that we're currently in. And then I want to work on a Saturday. I want to post the fixtures for the next week, so everyone knows it's a little bit more interactive.
So basically, there's a lot of changes going on, really.
A lot of automation, just to keep everyone involved.
With this change too, so now with the fixture list being what it is, the detailed score list is kind of obsolete now.
It is to some extent, yeah. It has made that a little bit there. It doesn't show as much information.
Only really for free still.
Yeah, it's harder to process the information.
Okay. Just for regular league though, it's like this is like great.
Yeah,
this is
perfect. Everything's a little bit easier to see.
Yeah, you can see the logos, the team names. Like it looks so good. I wish, I don't know, if you were smart, you'd bring it up on screen and show people.
I'm not that smart.
Okay.
Plus, I want them to go to my website and have a look.
That's true. Yeah, let's go check it out.
Go check it out. For next season, we want to try and encourage people who are playing in the league to join Gaming Synergy and actively take part in
just follow
where people are standing in the league, what results are coming in. That's what it's all about. Because
speak to your captain. You know, if you're not on Gaming Synergy as part of your team, speak to your captain because they can add you as an actual player on the team, and you can see absolutely everything. You can see all the scores.
We get questions all the time. Like, you know, where's the league table? I want to see where we're at. But the information has always been there. And what we've done in the past is we've put a link in, and that's not really the right way to go about it. Because all we're doing is kind of hand-holding to get to that link, and it doesn't really create any engagement. It doesn't create any kind of interest in what's going on, which is partly why we do this now. You know, we're putting the results up on the screen, putting the tables up.
I am working slowly. My end goal is to have a method of where you obviously you arrange your matchmaking with the other captain. Once you've agreed a time, rather than putting that time in Discord, put it on Gaming Synergy.
It's working now, by the way.
And then the other captain can confirm it. And then that will appear on the roster sheet. That's what I'm aiming for.
And remember as well, we've got there is still a link to the fixtures in the upcoming live matches channel. And if you're going to stream, once you've scheduled a game, if you're going to stream, pop your link in there, pop the information in, and then, if we can cover it, we'll cover it. If Titch and the AHC guys can cover it, they will. But it just shows other people what's going on. Like we said earlier on, supporting each other's streams. People want to see matches going on.
We've got a lot of people in here, Flash streams, Dread streams, Shana streams. There's a lot of people that like streaming Firewall. I'm pretty sure, Shana, you do it with, you've got a webcam as well, so you have yourself overlaid in the stream, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she does.
From what I've seen on Facebook.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely want.
I don't think does Shana do Twitch even? Or is it just YouTube?
That was weird.
I've seen Facebook, so I believe it's through. I believe it's through Restream. So I believe she does all across all of them. But
we've just started a rumor there as well, so let's
keep that one.
Let's leave that one to simmer away.
Yeah.
The Fester.
Ooh. Fester.
Uncle Fester. She does Twitch and YouTube.
Thank you.
What, sorry?
He's on it.
Apparently, she does Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cool. Cheers, okay. Trust Karen to know. Yeah, Karen always knows.
Karen would know for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we've about covered everything Pro League related.
Yeah. Before we disappear, because we've got a few people in here now, anything anybody wants to ask us about next season or about life?
Agony Aunt Vinny.
You're opening it up to that. Yeah. Is there anything anybody wants to ask?
Now taking callers for, asking Vinny for life advice. Just don't ask for, firewall advice.
That's the firewall advice.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. What's your name?
But yeah, no, anything next season. This is the point that we are taking ideas, feedback for next season. Anything you'd like to see. We've got a couple of ideas that we want to do. I'm not going to disclose them, but we've got a couple of ideas that we want to do that we've chatted about.
Yeah, so we're not going to, but we have got a fully fledged idea that's still in discussion, but it is kind of almost ready to go. But without revealing too much about it, we do need to think about the future of the community. There's a lot of people jumping ship from Firewall to other games or not playing as much. We need to think about that. We need to think about something that's going to be sustainable so that if the player base does drop off, we still have something there for the people that are still here. So yeah, we have to think about stuff like this every season. But,
we do. We've talked about it pretty much since season 5. We've gone, how much longer has this game got left in it? And that could be largely affected by if FCE have actually stopped the operations now. If they've stopped giving players something to work towards, because people do like that. Frankie One Shot, how you doing? If they've stopped giving people that achievement, that unlock system, I think they may dwindle off a little bit.
The thing is, we've got a lot of people who play still, but only play league matches and don't really play the game. And I feel like we're not going to be
everybody in here right now, all of us.
Yeah. Yes, but we don't seem to be getting any new people coming in, and that's a concern.
Yeah,
but I think that's the game.
The game's been out long enough now that if people are going to have it, they've got it. We went past that, the game being free, so we got all the new people in when that happened in the store.
Yeah.
I don't, unless it goes free in the store again, that isn't going to happen again.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is the same. And I like with Quest being what it is. Like, the price of a Quest, $500, man. You're into VR. And the fact of shooters and stuff like that, Firewall is kind of the only real option right now until Alvo. So,
God, yeah, definitely.
Karen pointed out that I only stream my league matches. You know what is, Karen? That's the only time I play games. So when I stream pretty much every time I play any game.
And if you're streaming, you can't bitch and moan about people. So
Dude,
yeah, it's
half
just
my streams these days are Blender streams. Why? Because
what you
whatever.
do.
I don't,
That's your life now, yeah.
like,
it is.
I do want to bring a bit of contrast to something. So you were talking about the Quest there. We kind of sidetracked that.
The Quest is huge. You know,
Yeah.
the cost of it is huge.
Let's do some. Let's be the agony aunt on the Quest here. So a lot of people complain about what the Quest does for VR, because obviously you have to downgrade things like Onward and contractors. You have to downgrade the graphics to make it crossplay compatible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on PC, you're still going to get the high resolution, and I personally, I'd rather take what is going on there. I'd rather take.
I have no idea.
Just yeah, you can't see it. The green screen's there. Yeah, for me, I'd rather take a lesser quality map, but still in high resolution, but a lesser quality map if it means the player base is higher.
Yeah,
I think that. So I see a lot of talk about contracts.
Or just throwing this out there, if you have a decent computer for like $50 Canadian, which is like $40 US, which is probably like 30 British pounds, you get a 16-foot cable, and you're good to go.
Yeah, but this is the thing: the good PC. That is a term that is so varied. And
Yeah.
part of the thing.
Are we going through the current Impulse Sport one that you're sat at right now?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Vinny, you're currently sat at a very good Impulse Sport laptop, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. Let's use this as an example. If you can run VR off of a laptop, okay, like, what do you really need to run VR?
Yeah, but it's a 2080 Super. It's not like it was the best graphics card you could get. Well,
I'd love to know what the clocks. I would love to know what your temperatures and a clock speed are at.
It's a desktop GPU, so it's
not,
but
like,
it's not far off the actual desktop. Like
the
it's
clock
fully
a little
flexible.
bit lower, just because
Probably tiny, a little bit lower, yeah. But it's a desktop one, so it's like you've got the wattage coming into it. Normally they're like
it's still an
75 or
SoC.
something.
But you say that I'm only running a 1080 Ti in mine, and that runs VR absolutely fine.
Yep.
The thing is, with PC, you always want something better.
Wolf is in chat. I think Wolf's running. Actually, no, he just upgraded. I don't remember what he's running.
He did have a 1080 Ti.
You know, it's flawless. Does runs everything I need.
But it depends what you've got. So the Quest 2.
Let me put it this way: my brother is running a 2060. Pretty sure it's a 2060, maybe 2060 Super. At best, 2070.
Yeah.
100. No, without that.
I had a bit of lag the other day when I was on the VR, but I did then realise that I had Blender, Photoshop, and something else open while I was trying to game. So I was drawing a little bit too much demand.
But it depends.
My issue is, for some reason, Steam VR likes to open up twice, and it's like, yo, this is already running. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, why is this like so choppy? And then I go to my computer. I'm like, oh, Steam VR, just being Steam VR.
Yeah, but the Dread's got
1070.
Yeah, I think if you had a standard 1070, it probably would. With the Ti, you're not going to have an issue.
Yeah, it depends what you want.
Here's a pro tip. Okay, for the amount of for everybody else that has just a regular 1070, look up a 10-minute YouTube video on how to overclock your graphics card. It's super easy, and you'll get the same output as a 1070 Ti with literally downloading one piece of software and sliding 2 bars. Done.
Just make sure only do that if you have adequate cooling system. If you're already high on temps,
right there.
do not do it.
Disclaimer just along the bottom there.
It won't even do. It won't even matter, because it'll automatically just downstep its clock.
Mm.
You up your power limit? Just literally like take your power limit bar up, increase your fans, because I mean that's the other thing too. Your fan curves are set to only go to a maximum 60% by default.
My fans I can open. I can change them on remote.
Oh, I just mean on the graphics card. Like if you pull up Afterburner or Precision, like at most, if you were to run like do a stress test on CPU, the fans only will spin a maximum 60%.
So anybody
you adjust
joining
your
in,
curve.
we've changed onto this topic of graphics cards from the lifespan of VR gaming. Going full circle, this was how long do we think PSVR's got left in for Firewall? There are so many variables. Firewall potentially stopping support. The VR side on Quest getting absolutely phenomenal.
The important point of this discussion, though, is that you've got yourself the Rift.
Yes,
Flash. See you tomorrow, Flash.
And you don't have contractors, Onwards, Pavlov, Phasmophobia. You have none of these. What are you? Who even are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
What are you doing with your life?
We don't have time to play Firewall, let alone anything else. So yeah, that ain't gonna work.
This is true.
I'd make time to see you squeezing like a little bitch playing Phasmophobia.
I actually said to Steve today. I don't know if you saw the Discord, no, but I actually said to Steve, I was like, some people were talking about PCVR. I was like, I got a Quest actually for Christmas. He's like, that explains some things. I'm like, no, I haven't been around lately. The last couple of weeks, I've just been super freaking busy. Like I've played it maybe once a week at best.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's not as easy to get into a game with mates as it is on PSVR, and that's always going to be an issue on PC. And what I was going to say with the graphics card today is, so yes, my laptop's pretty good. It's not the best system ever in the world, but I can run pretty much
what you need,
everything on Ultra. But then there's the occasional game where I have to knock a setting down, and it fucking kills me. I can't handle it. Whereas, see, Shana,
Cheers, Sean.
PSVR, like if you load it PlayStation, you get what you get. That's what you get. That's what everybody gets. There's no difference. But to literally go in an options menu and go from ultra to medium is depressing as fuck. So if you haven't got a great graphics card, yes, you're going to have to lower everything, but it's still a great experience. It's just hard to get your head around.
It is, and that's the thing is like you get what you get with PSVR, but you also have a higher resolution on PCVR, and you've got a higher refresh rate.
The games on PCVR are more military simulation games, though, aren't they? That's probably the better way that I would describe it. You physically have to do the actions. You have to crouch down if you want to crouch down, because they have a little bit more tracking. So they are more. For example, I watched you play. I want to say it was Onward, Venny, and you were having to try and grab the magazine on the P90, which you couldn't do to change the magazine.
Yeah, I couldn't get the P90 mag out.
Yeah.
Because you had to hold the button while you were pulling it.
So funny game, funny story. I was talking about this on another stream, but like we're not gun people, like my family and whatnot. Like we're Canadian, right? So we played Contractors. We played Contractors with a Karen for the first time this last week. So Karen runs out of ammo, and he's like, okay, how do I reload? I'm like, you gotta like grab the clip, pull it out, grab one from your belt, put it in, right? You gotta actually load the thing. So he does that, and he's like, it's not working. I'm like, what do you mean it's not working? He's like, it's not firing. I'm like, oh, you gotta actually like rail it or whatever the hell people call it. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I had to explain to him, like, you have to like look at the back of the gun. There's like a little T. You have to grab that and like actually like, but like for people who like we've never really played with guns, like how the fuck would we know?
This is like when me and Steve went in Onward and you were watching on Discord, Sean, and we were trying to load the M249, and you've got to literally like lift up. I don't know the
top of the body. Yeah.
You've got to lift the top of the body of the gun up, and then you've got to literally click the trigger and grab the round and pull it over the top, and then put the clip back down, and then charge the cock and handle. It's insane, but I like that kind of stuff. But that Contractors game you're talking about as well, because obviously I was in that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And then when you all went, so it was just me and a Karen and Mike Egan and Billy on the other side, so it was just 2v2. And I didn't know I had proximity jabs. I don't know if I told you this, Tid. So we were standing there, and I went. Oh, I put a claymore by the back door, so they won't come in there. And then all I heard from the other side of the wall was, "They've got a claymore there. Don't go there." And I said, "What the fuck?" Yeah, the enemy can hear you. But I think that's really cool. So like, if they're close to you, they hear you. If they're far away, they don't.
That's
and you've got your radio.
That's a good feature.
Yeah,
very good feature.
Yeah, because there's a couple of times we heard like chatter going on. Like we had trouble hearing our own teammates. Like I couldn't hear Wolf the entire time, but occasionally I'd hear like you or Karen like yelling something. I don't know. It was just weird.
But I think it's good for VR as a whole, and I wonder if when it comes. Oh, here he goes again.
I'm good again. I just want to look.
I wonder if when it comes to the next PSVR, obviously we've got no idea what it's gonna be. There's been talk of it coming this summer or this year. I just really don't see it.
I don't believe it.
I just can't. I don't see how it could be. And people are using PSVR as an example, saying like, oh well, like the first PSVR, saying that came like a couple of years into the life cycle, or they announced it, then this many months later it came out. That was the first headset. So once they had a concept and announced it and then released it probably quite quickly because it was the first one they had. Whereas if they had one as a sequel, you would think they would announce it now to make sure they retain the player base, because obviously Microsoft have released a very good Xbox as well, and people could jump ship.
Yeah.
If there's no VR on either one to keep them.
They said on the release of PS5 that the headset wasn't gonna be out for another like year or two. Like, and that's
still never said like this is the headset. It's coming.
And
out
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there was no actual date or anything. Like, that's
just.
Cheers,
Karen. So yeah, I don't expect it'll be out this year. If anything, earliest late next year.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. They need to make a headset that is wireless with a link cable like the Quest that goes to. It has an adapter for the PS5 or PC, and they will win the VR market hands down.
Yeah, they would. So let's finish off the stream with summarising Alvo. You know, we have a bit of involvement, just a fraction. So let's go through and summarise what we've got. So Alvo is PSVR. It does work on PS4. It does work on PS5. There are still going to be some PS5 optimizations to come through. It is going to be Quest native. So obviously you're going to have Quest with Link and Quest native there. So that's something to definitely look at on that front of it.
With crossplay, which is why this conversation
with crossplay.
With hard is really important.
Yeah, with the crossplay. So that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Cheers, Dread. Good night, buddy.
See you, Dread.
See you, bud.
You know, I've been playing a bit of Alvo, but to come, I played Firewall this evening, and the running seems extremely slow in comparison. The fact you can't jump really messes me up in Firewall now. After just being able to go, I can jump over that box. You know, you can in Alvo, you can run, slide, jump, you can go prone. I love the sniper rifle. I think it's absolutely brilliant. We are working on another variant of the sniper rifle as well. We've got a full unlock ranking system being made at the moment, so that shouldn't be overly too long. And for people that have been completely after it, 'cause it is obviously a beta at the moment, so that there's processes of going through things. The party system, the squadding up system, is nearing completion. So that's quite a phenomenal one to go through on there. Really can't wait to get that into the game. Hopefully that'll help. Gonna be solid. It will. And obviously the key focus has been trying to get the gameplay, the modes working. You know, Search and Destroy is working really well. Team Deathmatch and Free for All. I don't know whether you've played recently at all, Titch, but the spawn logic for Team Deathmatch and Free for All changed.
Not since the last patch, no.
Okay. So to summarise a little bit, the Free for All one is done proximity based. So you basically don't spawn wherever possible within line of sight of somebody else for free for all. That's the basic concept of that. Now, Team Deathmatch is a little bit different. You start either end of the map in your designated spawn points. As you play the map and it obviously unfolds, if your spawn zone is overrun, you'll swap spawns. You'll change to another location. So it's got a little bit of logic in there just to stop spawn camping.
Nice.
So that's really changed Team Deathmatch around. And
Wolf's just saying loving the bomb animation. That's seen some upgrades, hasn't it?
Yeah, the animations are in for Search and Destroy. There's been, if you go through from this latest patch, we've fixed a couple of issues with the grenades. They seem to be the main ones that we found. Fixed some grenade issues, added some animations in, adjusted some weapon sizes. Cracky, the updates. There's generally an update a week at the moment. That's the way it seems to be going.
The thing is, well, I know we've talked about the different modes and stuff. I don't play Firewall a lot lately. I only play for the league games, and that's because of the time I've got. But even when you've got a bit of time, if you ping the message out in the group chat, and if no one's coming on, I tend to do something else.
Yeah.
I think what Alpha will bring is you've got a squad play, but you can just jump in free for all and just run around killing people. Yeah. I'd say it's a bit more tiring. Free for all is intense, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I could play it for too long because my brain is absolutely goosed after a few rounds of that.
Now,
so fast.
I know people have been. It's always been a thing from the off that originally, there was only 4 maps, where 3 of those maps had a night version. So effectively, you had 7 maps. 1, 2. Two of those original maps are undergoing expansion, so they're going to be bigger. One you've probably seen a little bit of plans for, Titch, but honestly, the final pictures are looking amazing. And then there are 3 more maps in development, 2 which should be finished the initial phase of building this week.
And one of those is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
One of those is absolutely killer.
So
I've seen the walkthrough of that one, and that one's going to be a hell of a lot of fun when it comes to S&D and TDMs.
Oh yeah, for sure. But for anybody, you've played House, you know how quite compact House can be. It's fun, the compaction side of it.
The other side of the wall.
All opened up.
Yeah.
It's all opened up, and there's also an underground tunnel network
leading to the garage.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's going to be pretty epic when that all comes into play.
Solid.
We're not sharing any pictures of that. Nothing's gone out on that. People do know that are in the beta. They do know that it's happening. They've seen the initial plans, but the actual pictures of it we're keeping for now.
I do know that there was one map that used to be very big.
Yeah.
You was kind of telling me about that one. Like, had that one stayed, oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah.
So big.
So, yeah, the maps are constantly being worked on, aren't they? And it's different. It's different people doing it to the general bug fixes and things. So it's not slowing anything down.
No, it's not. And one of the things that it's really, obviously people go on about it in the beta, and they want it like the colliders of objects. For when you're shooting, that sort of thing is like a last minute refinement. Getting the gameplay mechanics is the main one. The party system's been probably the biggest one they've been working on. I would say certainly in the last month, probably about 30% of the game mechanics have been overhauled, which is phenomenal when you think about it. Titch's nip somewhere.
Sorry, I just got a message about something. Sorry.
No,
I'll look at that after. Sorry.
So yeah, very, very, very promising. There is actually I'm sure it went onto YouTube, and it's on YouTube. There is a new gameplay video that's gone onto YouTube on the Alvo YouTube channel. So if you want to have a look on there, I'm pretty sure it's on Instagram as well. For there, if you're not following, just have a look through on that. I don't have the link to hand, unfortunately, for that one to put into the chat. Let me see whether I can find it. I'm sure I will somewhere.
I'm still laughing at the Titch's nips. I'm sure that got brought up last time you were here as well, too.
Frankie's always up on them, and I keep telling him he's got to pay extra to see those, and he hasn't coughed up the dough, so he just keeps on waiting. I think he just wants to tattoo them.
This I'm just going to chuck this link for this video in the chat. So this video has had just under 3,000 views already, and it went up a day and a half ago. So it's doing all right.
It's crazy. I'm just updating the score on Game Essentials while we do this. There we go. Yeah, so check out that video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because things are starting to pick up, and there's going to be more content going on there.
Oh, it is. Traction is really, really unfolding. It's really exciting to see. There's a lot there. We're looking at different things to add, different perks to add in, like more stamina, extra health, that sort of thing. Just general perks that you would come across in other games. We're looking at adding some extra guns in as well. Man, so much. the next couple of weeks are really going to bring some extra bits. But on that, everyone, I am going to have to shoot off because I can hear little one crying. So as I'm hosting the stream, I will have to end that. So
yeah, we've overshot again, but
I've enjoyed it.
We've got a chance. It's all right. It's good.
It's really good. Thank you for everyone that's hung in and stayed with us.
And we'll be back next week for more.
Thank you for staying along. But yeah, next week is going to wrap up most of the leagues.
Yeah, this is last week for
NA and Tactical.
For NA and Tactical, and then we're into playoffs, I guess, next week.
So
maybe are we taking a week off? I guess
maybe 1 week off. I think, and then
what we've done with Elite, so we left Elite had the week off, and we're going to start it this weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense. That way you got to get everything prepared and whatnot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and then with the playoffs, you can kind of blast it off in a weekend, really, can't you? Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, especially with 4. I mean, you've got 2 games, 3 games, but I mean, at most you're playing 2 games. So, I mean, you can do that, have that done in basically a week.
I think for that, it'd be more around getting the game scheduled where they can be broadcast, rather than saying do that 1 game this week, 1 game the next week. If they can play when you guys can cover it. We can cover
we're usually pretty good for everything as long as it's not like 3 o'clock on a Saturday, which is pretty rare. Yeah. So I mean, if they're played during the week, even if like first round is like played on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they want to play the finals, because I think that's what happened last season, if I recall. We kind of so we played through the Christmas break. We finished off our season. We had the week off, and then within that week, we bombed off everything that 1 week, because once we'd cleared it, Rogues and I just basically scheduled our finals pretty much that same week. Yeah. There was no point in waiting, right?
I mean, we've had it with knockouts before, where people have scheduled a game and then they've scheduled the final on the basis that if they do go through, that's when the game will be played. So you might even see that happening as well.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take too long, but yeah, we'll catch up with a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Next week.
Wednesday. Awesome. But thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Titch, absolute pleasure. See you next week, hopefully.
Hopefully. Thanks, boys.
And Venny, I'll speak to you in about 20 minutes.
Oh, God, what's happening in 20 minutes?
You said we've got to go through some stuff. So
yes, we absolutely.
Cheers, all.
I'm getting kicked out.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
See you later.
See you guys.